Thus far, I have shared with you two complete circle alignments that I found, one emanating from Merida, Mexico, and another from Amsterdam Island, one of the French Subantarctic Islands in the South Indian Ocean. This new series is about a circle alignment that begins and ends in Algiers, Algeria. My name is Michelle Gibson. I found a star tetrahedron early in 2016 on a map that had been given to me when I started noticing that major cities lined up in lines in North America, and I connected them. I extended the lines out and eventually switched to a globe. I used a magnifying glass and wrote down the cities that lined up in linear or circular fashion. I have gotten an amazing tour of the world of places I have never heard of, with remarkable similarities across countries and continents. I believe there was an ancient, advanced civilization that existed up until relatively recently that was totally aligned with itself, the earth, and the heavens, and we have not been told about it, and on top of which a false narrative has been grafted. These star maps were done by Wayne Herschel, a South African researcher. My work is about providing compelling evidence for why I believe this. This is a photo of Manhattanhenge, an annual event during which the setting sun or the rising sun is aligned with the east-west street grid of Manhattan on dates evenly spaced around the summer solstice and winter solstice. There are similar alignments with the sun and street plan that occur in other major cities like Toronto, Baltimore, Chicago, and Montreal. My primary focus is on looking at features in each place that are similar to features found in very different places around the world. Keep in mind there are many more examples than the ones I'm providing. At the very least, I hope to provide a thought-provoking experience regarding reasons to question the historical narrative we have been given. Algiers is the capital and largest city of the North African country of Algeria, and is situated on the west side of a bay of the Mediterranean Sea. It was ruled by the Deys of the Regency of Algiers until 1830, at which time the last Dey, Hussein Dey, surrendered to invading French forces. The old part of Algiers is located on a steep hill topped by a citadel called the Kasbah, and is known as the ancient city of the Deys. The five noble titles of the Moors are El, Bey, Dey, Al, and Ali. Ancient means something belonging to the very distant past. Yet we are told that the title of Dey in Algiers, as well as the Deys of Tunis and Tripoli, was given to these rulers under the Ottoman Empire starting in 1671. Yet the Kasbah is known as the ancient city of the Deys. These next photos are comparing the very similar layouts and angles of streets of the area known as the Kasbah in Algiers, with Cusco, Peru on the top, and Old Edinburgh, Scotland, and Old Zagreb, Croatia on the bottom. And here's another street layout found in the Kasbah of Algiers on the left, compared with this one in Cusco, Peru on the right. I find the curvature, steep slopes, and angles of all of these street layouts to be remarkably similar, considering they are across countries and continents. This photo was taken of a building at the Kasbah in Algeria. And here is a closer look at the windows of this building in the Kasbah of Algiers, compared with the detail of windows in Venice, Italy. The botanical gardens of Hamma are in Algiers. They are also known as the Test Gardens of Hamma, because when they were said to have been established in 1832 under the auspices of the interim French government after the surrender of the Dey of Algiers in 1830, it was started as a test farm and model garden. This photo of the grounds of the botanical gardens on the top reminded me of the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on the bottom. This is Algiers Harbor today. Of note in the middle of the photo is a very long jetty compared with the one in Hilo Bay on the Big Island of Hawaii. Jetties like these are very common features in the world's harbors. Algiers was known historically as Algiers the White for the color of its buildings. This is the Grand Post Office in Algiers, a huge white building featuring heavy masonry and is called a construction of Neo-Moorish type, said to have been built in 1910. And here is the white El Jadid Mosque in Algiers. I find it very interesting that the port city of Mogadishu in Somalia, located on the Horn of Africa, was called the White Pearl of the Indian Ocean before civil war there started in 1991. Sadly, the beautiful architecture of this once grand city has been badly damaged, if not completely destroyed, since 1991. Both places had similar architectural features, yet these two African countries are not located close to each other. Algiers is in North Africa on the Mediterranean coast, and Somalia is in East Africa on the Indian Ocean, situated next to Ethiopia and Kenya. Leaving the city of Algiers, next on the alignment we come to the Atlas Mountains, a mountain range in the Maghreb. The Maghreb is another name for North Africa, as is the Barbary Coast, and consists of the countries of Algeria, Morocco, Mauritania, Tunisia, and Libya. It is also known as the Land of Atlas for the Atlas Mountains, which separate the Mediterranean and Atlantic coasts from the Sahara Desert. The Atlas Mountains in Algeria are primarily inhabited by the Chawi Berber people. The Berbers are an ancient people of North Africa. The Saharan Atlas of Algeria is the eastern portion of the Atlas Mountains and mark the northern edge of the Sahara Desert. The Atlas Mountains is the location on Earth where, according to Greek mythology, the Titan Atlas was condemned to support the heavens. This was his special punishment for his participation in a 10-year Battle of the Titans, in which there was a series of battles involving the younger generation of Titans against the older gods of Mount Olympus, and the younger Titans lost. The other Titans were put in a place called Tartarus, described by Homer as a deep and sunless place. There are a number of national parks in the Atlas Mountains. In Algeria, I would like to touch base on two that are situated on or near this particular alignment after leaving Algiers. The first is Crea National Park. It is located in the Blida province and is part of the Blidian Atlas Mountains. There is a colony of Barbary macaques here, also known as the Barbary ape. It is an endangered species. It also has a forest of ancient Atlas cedar. This is a cedar species native to the Atlas Mountains. Waterfalls are found all along these alignments, and Algeria is no exception, as these are found in Crea National Park. The other Algerian national park I want to highlight is Tainat al-Had National Park. It has one of the greatest protected forests of Atlas cedars in Algeria. It is located at the southern limited edge of the great massif of Ouarsenes. I found a description of Ouarsenes that called it the eastern part of the Maghrebian Tethys former margin, which is apparently referring to the tectonic plate upon which this part of the world sits. Tethys was also the name of a Titan goddess in Greek mythology, and she was the primal font of fresh water which nourishes the earth. This is a picture taken of Tainat al-Had National Park, showing the presence of red rocks there that are found in other places around the world. Like Fort Elizabeth State Park on the Hawaiian island of Kauai, Sedona, Arizona, and Twin Lakes Reservoir in Bethel, Oklahoma. Next on the alignment, we come to the city of Reggane in the Sahara Desert. It is the capital of the Reggane district in the Adrar province of Algeria. France began its nuclear testing program in Reggane in 1960 to 1961, before Algeria's independence. they conducted 4 atmospheric nuclear tests which contaminated the Sahara Desert with plutonium, negatively impacting those who live here to this day, not only Reggane but far beyond. Between 1960 and 1966, a total of 17 nuclear tests were conducted in the Reggane district of Algeria. It is called Africa's Hiroshima. The Tuareg live here, an ancient Berber people. Women have a high status in the matriarchal Tuareg society. Among other things, primarily women own livestock and other movable property, while personal property can be inherited by both women and men. This is a rendition of the legendary Tuareg queen of the Hagar, Tin Hinan. She is believed to have lived between the 4th and 5th centuries AD. Her tomb was believed to have been found by Western archaeologists in the 1920s in Abalessa, in the Hagar, also known as Hagar Mountains of southern Algeria. I'm going to end this video here and pick up the alignment in El Guahara, Mali in the next video.